We spend an average of 8 hours and 41 minutes a day facing screens. Laptops, smartphones, tablets, even digital refrigerators. But what are we really connected to? Isn't it time you connected to something greater? Sometimes the best way to connect is to disconnect. This moment of escape was created by Haggerty for people who love cars.
Welcome to RCS. I'm Nick.
I'm Dan. We're at Drivers Club. I'm tired.
I was going to say, that sound depressed. It's Monday, and it's
Yeah.
You had a busy week last week, and it didn't sound like it ended.
No, it was supposed to end. It was supposed to have a day off, and then things broke.
I told you this is what you get for being smart. Don't stand out. Just blend in. But no, it's your own fault, Dan.
I know.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, you went on a hike this weekend.
Oh, yeah, I did. Just it was nice out. I've been trying to do hiking more. I've been trying to go at least 3 or 4 days a week. So
nice.
I did just 4 miles up. I forget the name. I did part of Cable Line, which is a good way to die. I don't recommend that unless you're like training for Rainier. You don't hike Cable Line.
Where's Cable Line?
What is the name of that mountain right next to Newcastle? Tiger Mountain.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's North Tiger Mountain, the north face of Tiger Mountain.
Oh, okay. Is that off I-90?
Yeah, right off I-90, exit 20.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. By the fire academy there, but on the other side.
Not even that far. It's like one exit past Issaquah. And so...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's a great little place to hike around. Like, you don't have to go... But I didn't... Okay, I did know I was warned that Cable Line was hard. Understatement.
Okay.
So don't do that unless you are literally training to, like, go up Mount Rainier.
Were you being forced to do... Was this
No,
baton death march?
No. I was
okay.
just going out for a hike. It was a really pretty day, and I was just decided to take a little section, which was...
Nice.
Rough.
That's good. Which was rough. You're in control of your own destiny when you're hiking. You can turn around.
Oh,
right?
I know.
Okay.
It was worth it. It was awesome.
All right.
Yeah,
you're not limping today, so that must mean something went well.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I went to Griot's on Saturday for a little bit. I only got to stop in briefly just to check that out. There was the Avance magazine launch party, issue number 3. Ran into Anthony, Sir Mix-a-Lot there. Of course, Adam. And then as I was leaving, Davis and... every other Porsche came in GT4.
Yeah, I saw Davis was hanging.
Justin Wilson
was hanging out down in South Tacoma this weekend with some friends of ours.
Tammy Granberg.
Yeah. Yeah, well, nice. I had every intention of being there. I was even on the peninsula on Friday. I was up in Bremerton seeing a client and had every intention of stopping by, and then the world kind of got crazy and I just couldn't make it. And then Saturday was hanging out with Sarah, and it was just sort of, I didn't want to drive all the way down to Tacoma, but I heard it was a lot of fun. I mean, the magazine looks incredible.
It was packed.
That episode, and it's funny because, and a lot of people don't know this, we helped out with that episode as well. And this issue. And so which was a lot of fun to see all those cars get together and kind of watch the photo shoot happen. But it's incredible the way that magazine is progressing, and it was great to see Anthony Ray get a nice article right up in there. And it's so funny because I was talking to one of my neighbors about it. Actually, was talking about the magazine, and I said, "Oh yeah, Anthony Ray's in there." And I'm so used to calling him Anthony, because from exotics and things like that, everybody knows him as Mix. But it's kind of fun. Yeah,
it was. I was laughing. Their shelves were emptied. I was talking to Nick, of course, down there, and I think Avance is one of those things where you get a lot more people than you expect. Every event they have sells out if it has a limit. And people are so anxious to go to anything that they can go to right now. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, with COVID, it's just the car shows are gone. And so it was just like a constant stream of people, and they literally ran out of inventory of any popular product they had. The shelves were literally cleaned out.
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad to hear Griot's is doing well.
Well, they are the official car care provider of Rain City Supercars.
I'm hoping they're going to be successful. Really that small startup that started 30 years ago. But,
right.
Nice. Did you pick up any product down there?
I did, actually. I got some interior detailer. I've been meaning to pick some up, and I just was down there. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I ran out, actually. So
it's good stuff. Yeah.
The Raptor has a huge interior.
Yes, it does.
It's such a large truck.
Plethora of places that dirt can hide in there.
Lots of leather. So I got that. So
nice.
RCS 10 for our listeners, 10% off anything in Griot's.
Cool.
So.
Well, that's nice. That's good.
Yeah, that was about it. Back from Arkansas, and then I'm probably going to go somewhere soon, because why not? What else am I going to do?
You're itching to get out of here?
Yeah, it's just fun to go places right now, actually.
Yeah.
So
it's It is nice. Like it's funny as it is. I'm driving to Olympia tomorrow to see a client, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I'm going to plan on stopping at Cabela's on the way back just because I can, and hopefully they'll be open. So we'll see. Yeah.
So had to get some Rainier.
You're good.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking.
I shouldn't be.
We don't drink that much. And
no.
It's like, and I gave it up as a community thing for Lent, and I've never wanted to drink more in my life than not. It's like, so yeah. Mm-hmm. That and candy. So
yeah, it's kind of funny. People we laugh because we have a beer sponsor with Rainier, and I love a good Manhattan or a glass of wine, but I rarely have any of them.
Yeah,
it's like I'm a one beer or one drink a week person.
Well, especially Manhattans and things like that. It's always nicer when you can sit somewhere and have somebody else make it. Just order it to the table, like your infamous oil changes at the Hollywood Tavern.
Oh, I do miss those.
Yeah.
I have a wine pickup this week, so I'm probably gonna go back to Woodinville. I just want to drink wine around a fire.
Yeah, I
wine or whiskey around a fire. I'm happy.
Drink anything around a fire right now.
Yeah,
be nice to just do anything. I think from what I'm hearing that there's gonna be another opening with restaurants as far as the 22nd. They can start taking in more people.
Yep.
So yeah, hopefully
they're packed. I was in Woodinville. Was it like 2 days ago? And I had to laugh. There's so much white girl wasted. I was in the parking lot getting some food from the Commons and waiting. The people watching was at an epic level this weekend. It was really fun.
Yeah.
It was Saturday evening. It was Sunday afternoon, excuse me, not Saturday evening, but it was a nice sunny day. Mm-hmm. And the restaurants, I just laugh because there's these giant tents everywhere now. There's just the restaurants.
Oh, the outdoor dining that's still inside?
That's still inside, yeah. Yeah. It's always a good laugh. And Woodinville is some of the best people watching and best car watching. People love driving through Woodinville and just sitting there in Woodinville. If you hang out, there's a nice exotic every 5 minutes.
Like we haven't done that.
Oh, I know. We all do. It's the go through because everybody goes to the Cut Shop or Hollywood Tavern, or they go to many of the wine stores around there. And so there's just this collection of people all the time.
There's some great little drives out there.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah, good times.
Nice.
It is springtime. We sprang forward. Daylight savings time has happened.
Am I the only person that I feel like I'm doing this? Like, I'll look at the clock after daylight savings time and be like, well, it says 5 o'clock, but really it's still 4 o'clock. Like, I don't really give it up for a few weeks. I'm like, well, but it's still this time.
I'm going to hold on to it.
I'm going to hold on to it. Like, I woke up at 7 this morning, but that's really 6, so I was up early. So, yeah.
Yes. So that's kind of funny. I woke up early to do that hike, not thinking of daylight savings time.
Wait a minute.
And it was, because it was Sunday, and it was pitch black.
Oh, whoops.
I was like, I'm not going to leave at 6 in the morning. I'm like, hiking up there in the dark does not sound fun.
Yeah.
So it was.
Or safe.
No.
No.
Been in the water, in the mud. It was
that would suck. Okay.
But speaking of springtime, that equals driving season. So officially driving season, or driving opening day, we say officially starts May 1st. Mm-hmm. That's what Drivers Club says. They're the authorities on that, so it's May 1st.
Oh, okay.
So, when you call yourself Drivers Club, you could kind of claim that.
I'd go to Dan's Drives, too. That's what Drivers Club and Dan's Drives. But, yeah.
Well, I have a few little checklist things for the spring. There's a couple of things you probably neglected over winter, and that is, one, top off your washer fluid. You probably used it all. If you haven't checked it in a while, obviously if you have dealer service, they should be checking it for you. But next one, check your air filters, cabin and engine. Both of them after winter are going to be dirtier than they would be normally. So.
You could find hay or sand or straw.
Right,
all kinds of things, a mouse, whatever. Who knows?
All of those things are common, but this is a good time to check those. Check your tire pressures. They're probably all low from the cold, and it is still freezing. It's supposed to be 30 degrees tonight, actually.
Oh, great.
Perfect for your ride home.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, okay.
Right now is also a great time to change your diff fluid. I tell everybody to do that. You should probably do that annually. That actually seems like that's probably aggressive for a daily driver or something you're just putting around in. But for those of us who are enthusiasts or you're a big off-roader, this is actually probably more pertinent to the off-road guys. But if you're driving a sports car, you're driving something really hard off-road, it's a good time to change your diff fluid. Right after the season, we're drying up. Even though it's still cold, the moisture is decreasing rapidly around here. You can feel it in the air. So great time to change your diff fluid. And it's time to wax your car again.
Yeah, so you got to put a good sealant on it for the rest of the year.
You probably just wore it all off over the winter for all those washes, all that crappy, sandy, watery weather we've had that just cakes on your paint. If you don't have a really good ceramic coating base coat, go see our friends at Griot's Garage, RCS 10% off, and get your products. It's a great time to wax your car. Make sure you do it at the right temperature. We talked about that in a previous episode. I'll tell you guys right now, it's a beautiful sunny day. It's still like 40 degrees in the shade. Way too cold to wax your car. You got to look at the temperatures on the package.
Yeah,
It'll go all swirly. It'll
Yeah.
look like trash.
Yeah, I know.
Get a nice heated spot. I've done it too.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I've done it on a black car. And it was like, it just looked like I spilled oil all over the paint.
Yeah.
It's awful. So
to add to that, actually, I was going to say I'm starting to de-winterize the Triumph. Go through if a car has been sitting, go through every part of the car that you can access, rodents, things like that,
Yeah.
building nests in all these places. So it was funny. I was down there starting to kind of get things going. And my building, they haven't done a real good job of keeping the garage clean. And I'm down there like I pulled all my cars out and I'm sweeping my stalls. The guy, one of my neighbors walks by me. He's like, "Are we supposed to do that?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just weird." He goes, "Oh, okay." So yeah, it's important.
And a more odd one that I've seen people neglect on older vehicles. You don't see this a lot on new cars, but for older cars, your battery terminals tend to corrode over time, especially after winter as the weather changes.
It's the moisture in the air, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
The moisture in the change mixed with the battery acid. You can get corrosion around the terminals. That'll cause your car not to start. And it's a really simple thing just to check for. Clean it manually. Never have to worry about it again.
Yeah.
Then a couple of little more things. So speaking of dance drives, one of the more popular drives we've done is over the North Cascades Highway.
Yeah.
That doesn't open until late May at the earliest, usually early June, sometime around the 15th, I think is technically officially opening day. They typically open end of May. So just keep that in mind. And Stampede Pass, where we love to go off-road, doesn't open until June, actually, to motorized vehicles. It's way out there. So I know we're all getting excited, but a lot of those popular routes we go on just aren't open yet. So
We're definitely going to have to do that with a different type of motorized vehicle this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
So those are your Carter Super Tips of the week. Just a little spring readiness.
Spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning, yes.
Spring prep. Get your car ready.
As Dan said, you can get all your cleaning products from Griot's with RCS 10.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So you had a little fun recently.
Well, so, I mean, I talked about it a little bit. I got my motorcycle endorsement.
Yeah.
And I strongly stand by what I said last time. There are certain people that I don't believe should be out of the house, let alone they could probably drown themselves in the shower that were taking this test. I will say this. I learned a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot from you. I mean, just being around you. And we haven't done that much motorcycle riding in our friendship, but I mean, just the knowledge base and things like that. But I did learn a lot as far as slow movement. But it was interesting. I mean, the tests are somewhat stupidly easy and stupidly complicated. So
yeah.
But I really would suggest if you're thinking about getting your endorsement, go out and take this class. It's $300. I mean, you take the test and all that, and then they send everything to the DOL and you're done. But I learned a lot. It was, I mean, and I've been riding, probably on and off for 20 years now. Not like you did, but I mean, I've always had bikes and things like that, so I knew how to ride. But it was funny. We got into class and they wanted you to fill out this form, and they're like, "Do you have any rider affiliations?" And I'm like, I'm a smart ass. So I was like, "How do you spell Hell's Angels?" And the guy's like, "What? Nothing. So
me and my Honda Monkey.
You can take that test on a scooter that they will provide for you, by the way, which I watched a young man do pretty well. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. But the reason we are talking about this and the reason I'm doing this, and we've sort of hinted to this a lot, and there's been some photos that have been out there. So, and Dan actually came up with this idea because all the good ideas that are stupid, Dan came up with, definitely not me. So if you don't know what a Honda Monkey is, first of all, go look up what a Honda Monkey is. A new Honda Monkey.
Yeah.
It is a remake of a classic 50cc Honda Monkey, I think is what it was. Yeah,
it's a little mini trail bike is what they are sort of reminiscent of.
Well,
the old ones.
Yeah.
And the new ones are little run around town bikes.
Yeah, they're not get on. I mean, don't get on the freeway with one. Trust me.
Yeah, please don't.
I tried it. I went from one exit in Issaquah to another one. I got up to 55 miles an hour with my weight, but it's only 125 cc. So the plan is we're basically going to take these monkey bikes this summer, and we're going to do the what's the acronym? It's WABDR.
WABDR. Washington Backcountry Discovery Route. And we are going to do the entire Washington Backcountry Discovery Route, starting at the Canadian border, all the way down to Oregon.
I'm going to say it now. We are going to try to do the entire back.
I recommend everybody look this up because, the one reason I want to do this, one, I think it'll be fun. But two, this is hard. This is hard to do on a full-size motorcycle, period. To do it on a monkey will actually be oddly easier because
easier to navigate, smaller,
easier to navigate, and it's still like the Discovery route is passable in a truck. I mean, it's like you don't even need like a really heavily modified.
Not a wide truck though.
Yeah, very difficult in a wide truck because unless you are just fine with like trail striping your truck for 500 miles.
Or you have a Nicholas that will run out in front of the truck and cut things down for you. But other than that, so
that was essential.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the idea was, I registered Backcountry Monkey and a bunch of other names. It's going to be called the Backcountry Monkey.
Do we have RCS monkeys?
I think so. Yeah.
We should get that.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a bunch of domain names registered to this, and one I think I want a challenge. So I used to like to ride really long distances. My main goal for riding anything or riding off-road wasn't so much I was never a huge motocrosser or a big like hardcore single-track enduro guy. I loved enduro more than anything, but I like to explore. That's my whole reason for driving. It's my whole reason for anything. And so doing this on a Monkey presents, an exceptionally difficult challenge because the bike is so small. But the fact is you don't run the Backcountry Discovery route at speed. Like even if I was running like a built KTM 450, I'd be hitting 50 in the straights at max when I had a dead flat open spot for a 2 seconds. Most of the time you're stuck in that 20 to 30 range at best. So it's perfect for the Monkey. That's if you gear it down, you're second and third gear the whole time.
We're gonna need earplugs though. I just put exhaust on mine and I'm already like, yeah.
Well, the main thing we got to worry about is fuel because there are sections of the Backcountry Discovery route that are between 100 and 150 miles. And while normally the Monkey can do a solid 125 to 150 miles, when you're doing that all off-road and you're in second and third gear and you're on and off the throttle the whole time, I'm expecting 110 or so at best.
But I think if each bike has, and we're going to have a follow vehicle,
yes.
So we're clear. I think if each bike has its own like 5-gallon gas can, we should be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can get gas between it. So the idea is we camp the first night and then we hotel it the rest of the night. So you have to have a recovery step there. If you camp between
or a shower,
like a lot of we are going to be absolutely filthy. So if you camp between each one, I mean, hi, Doug.
Elmer Fudd just walked into Drivers Club. Sorry. What up, Doc? Jeez. Is it wabbit season or duck season? Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little more about this. We actually are overdue for a break anyway. So this is a good time to figure out what the hell Doug's up to.
All right.
Anyway, we will tell you more about this route and why we're doing it when we be right back.
Grandpa, what do you call this thing again?
It's a 66 Ford Bronco.
I think you got ripped off.
Why is that, honey?
It's got no Wi-Fi, no USB port, no Bluetooth.
Exactly. I guess we'll just have to talk.
Sometimes the best way to connect is to disconnect.
Is that the window button?
It's called a window crank.
Cool. The faster I move it, the faster it goes down.
This moment of escape was created by Haggerty.
Being old is kind of cool, Grandpa.
Works for me.
For people who love cars.
And we're back.
Wabbit season.
Yeah, we were distracted.
We were distracted. So
now Doug is distracted. He's going to go ride your Monkey.
Yay! Does he know how to ride? Does he know anything about motorcycles? Yeah. So
he probably helped design the engine.
Have you seen the headlight that David put on the front of his?
Yes, the Baja Designs one.
I rode in front of it.
Did you need a headlight?
It wasn't dark, but it was still like the sun was coming up behind me at the. Yeah, it's well done. Yeah.
If I could fit that in the factory housing, I would be all over it.
He did it. I mean, there's a couple extra switches on the bike, but it looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, no, it looks awesome. I'm trying to keep that retro look.
I know.
It's just preference, though. Like, if you want function, that's the way to go.
I went out. I was seriously thinking. I was looking at the Euro version of the taillights. Holy crap, that's expensive.
I know, they look so good, but I don't want, I'm like, $700.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, it's the last thing on my list, but I'm going to do it.
Everything else on those bikes, I mean, the shocks and stuff are expensive. The bars, I love the bars upgrades.
Those are all functional upgrades, though.
But... yeah, I don't know what I haven't figured out what I'm...
I just heard your bike.
Damn it. Well, at least I know you can hear it. Yeah, and that's with the spark arrestor in it. It's louder without it.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we're doing this rally, and everybody thinks we're insane, rightfully so, because if you've ever looked at the WABDR or heard us talk about the WABDR, it's not easy. It's a difficult ride, and it's what most people considered an iron butt ride. Mm-hmm. I've done sections of it many times over in my life on a motorcycle. I only started doing it in a car when I got the Raptor, and so, but I'm used to riding it on a full-size dual sport. So full suspension, like 9 inches of travel, cush, and even then it can be. I keep hearing Doug's not having any fun at all. But
it's an ad for Yoshimura,
right? Yeah. Exactly. So, but it's that's kind of why we're doing it. It's a little insane. I hope Honda hears about this. We're not taking sponsors at this time, and we're not open to applicants because when you're doing a run like this for the first time, there's a very high margin of error. This hasn't been done before, especially on something that's really not designed for this kind of abuse. We have to do a lot of modifications.
The worst thing we know that has been done to these bikes is 2 guys did Baja on them, and they didn't do the true Baja.
Yeah, which was awesome to watch. That was a big inspiration for mine.
Yeah.
For planning this, and I was like, well, I haven't done something really challenging in a long time.
We haven't done anything really stupid in a long time.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah. And so, I've got we're packing fuel. We have support vehicles. Right now, I think we have 6 bikes. To 5 or 6.
It depends on who all's going, as far as spouses and things like that. Because I don't know if both the girls are going or not. So
yeah. I think people are going to attempt it. I won't shame anybody for dropping out who comes along. We have Brandon Ben Powell from Search and Rescue with the Pin Scour. We've had on the show a few times. He is super excited, to say the least.
If you're following him on Facebook, that's what's happening. So the Pin Scour is getting a makeover, and so is his monkey, and they're going to look identical, apparently,
which is awesome.
Yeah, I think it's great.
And we have knobby tires. So let's just go through the list here. So we've got, from the ground up, knobby tires are going to be added.
Hey, tires are expensive. I think I spent $40 or $50 a tire.
Yeah, I know. Big time.
It's like, yeah.
And then, of course, they're tubeless, which is a plus because I can carry a plug kit and a mini compressor, which is just a CO2 canister because it's such a small volume of air. And then, of course, we're doing front and rear suspension. I'm going to add a skid plate only for the rally. I don't want to run a skid plate most of the time. I don't think it's worth it. But it looks terrible. But in that case, it could absolutely crush the exhaust. So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And then, let's see here. You've done an intake, which I'm probably not going to do for the rally, only because of the dust out there.
I've got the dust cover. No, I've got the stock. I've got one of the air cleaner covers too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
filter skins.
Skins. And they're. I'm going to buy a couple of them. I think I talked to you about this. I think we're going to we need to buy a couple of clutch packs just in case.
Yeah, I'm going to do a heavy-duty clutch on mine. I think it's sort of a necessity. We see that one of the things when you're doing off-road and you've got technical stuff, you're clutching it intentionally. You're feathering the clutch. And these things, the clutch is so small. The bike is so small. We're not.
That's a good way to put that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so we're going to abuse these clutches. So we're doing upgraded clutches, and we're going to basically run an oil change every night. They hold a quart of oil. So it's not like...
And we're going to do upgraded chains.
Yes. Yeah. I've already ordered the 428 conversion kit. A 420 chain is super tiny and stretches every time you ride it. So I did a 428 X-ring and sprocket set, front and rear.
Are you doing, because I've gone down to the 14th tooth in the front, but I didn't do the rear yet.
No, I'm just going to do the standard 1 down in the front. So 1 down in the front is equivalent to 3 up in the rear. It's just changing the final drive ratio, and 1 down in the front basically moves your torque curve lower down. It makes first gear a little less usable, but it makes second and third much more usable.
And I have noticed that big time.
Yeah, and so it's kind of annoying at first because you're like, I'm barely in first, but I'm shifting so much less because third gear is like everything now. And second gear is around town all the time. So,
and fourth is just cruising.
Yeah, revving it out.
Yeah.
So,
it's 100 miles per mile. It's just, David and I took them out to. I just forgot the name of it yet now.
Carnation.
We went out to this little dive bar / biker bar, and there's all the.
It's a legit biker bar.
It is a legitimate. and there are $50,000 Harleys sitting out front, and Indians and things like that, and people are coming to us wanting to know what we're riding. Especially David with the spotlight on the front of his bike. So, it's a lot of fun. I attribute it to it it's a lot like driving the Triumph. Like everybody wants to know what it is, and so many people have had the Honda 50s when they were kids and things like that. So.
Yeah, the universal appeal is understated. Because I get people who are really much, much older than me that absolutely love seeing it. And everybody just kind of laughs and smiles because they know it's so fun. They look at it like, that looks so fun to ride. And little kids want to sit on it. And people I never thought, women with their kids are like, that looks really fun.
The seat sits 30 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. And you kind of feel like the grizzly bear riding the motorcycle in the circus is what it is. So,
yes.
I find myself taking routes where I can drive past windows just to kind of see my big my big ass sitting on this little bike. So it's a lot of fun. But this idea has been coming. I mean, we thought of this, or you thought of this like
a few months ago.
It's a ways back, but yeah.
Yeah, and we just decided this was. It sort of started as a joke, like what's the stupidest thing I could do with a motorcycle? And I thought of, I've been wanting to ride New Zealand forever, do the whole thing. And I was like, well, that's way off. COVID's happening. I can't do anything. Like, what's the most fun the cheapest way I can maximize my fun with my time? And so Honda Monkey. Super low entry fee for a motorcycle. And
I mean, like non-ABS is like $3,900. ABS is like $4,100, $4,200.
Like yeah.
And if you don't have ABS, you got some room under the seat. If you do have ABS, you really don't.
Yep. And so why not? I mean, they're hard to find now. The market, I think, once we started talking about it, everyone kept buying them. David bought 4. I bought 2. You bought 1. Brandon bought 1. And I think other people are going to be buying them soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I think we're just going to do one this year, but and there probably will be a few test runs this year up maybe Snoqualmie or something like that. But
yeah, we'll probably do Stampede Pass once that opens up as like the first test run because it's the same kind of terrain to do the WABDR as it is to do Stampede Pass. Yeah. So
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'll go down to the garage and people will be staring at it, or I go down and stare at it because it's just
when it's not in your living room.
Yeah. No, I would never do that.
So anyway, if you want to join us, we will post up a lot of pictures. Carl, of course, did a little photo shoot for us tonight. You guys should definitely look at the photos of this episode. I'll post them on Instagram as well. Like I'm going to multi-post this one because it's fun. You guys will get the laughs, and I hope you guys are in for some entertainment at our expense. I'm going to try and do as much as I can from the trail. There's actually pretty good service on the WABDR. I tested that last season. For some reason, I had LTE the whole time and maybe 5G, which is weird. But
well, I mean, we were up top. I mean, when we did it,
you're so high up.
When we did it in the snow, or that part in the snow, like what was it, like 3 or 4 months ago? We had good service up there.
The far north section and the lower 2 sections will probably be very difficult. So yeah.
Well, we'll know. And I mean, these bikes are small enough that you can fit 3 of them in the back of a truck. So if we have to get them out of there, we will.
Yeah. And so I want to add one more thing, just so it's super clear to our guests. We are not sponsored by Honda for this. Nobody put us up to this. We just thought this was a terrible idea, so we should do it.
Yeah, terribly awesome idea.
That's right.
Terribly awesome
idea. I am going to work with Griot's, of course, to get every protection I can on that bike so it gets so dirty.
Yeah, it's.
Can you ceramic coat an engine?
No, but everything on the. I mean, and the funny thing is I think you could strip a monkey down like I was in probably a couple of hours.
Yeah,
there's not a lot to it, but boy, and if you're into motorcycles and you don't know what a monkey is and you know what a Grom is, it's a Grom but old school.
Yeah, it's
same engine, everything.
Look.
Yeah.
So, we hope you guys are entertained even at the thought. I think there's a lot of listeners who are just shaking their heads right now and going, "This is impossible." No, it's not. It'll be hard.
It's implausible, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
So
I can't stress that enough. It's going to be really hard. Period.
Yeah.
Doing this, like the first day is going to be exhausting. So is the second, the third, and the fourth. And it's a 500-mile ride off road on a bike not really built for it, which I'm going to be really proud of doing.
Yeah, I think that's going to be, we're not doing this to gain sponsorships. We're not doing this to make money. We're doing it just because it seems like something that'll be fun and will be challenging for us. I mean, I think the more Dan talks about it, the more I think it's going to be challenging. I don't know why I thought it was going to be easy, but it's not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you guys will see. We'll do some pre-runs. We will do more on the bikes because I think they're just a laugh. I laugh at them. Everybody I know laughs at them in a good way, so I'm looking forward to sharing it.
And if you're in Fall City, Issaquah, Redmond, and you see monkeys parked outside, it's probably Dan or me or David or all of us together, so come say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize. I haven't seen all of you enough to go riding, but that's changing too. So.
It's changing. The seasons are changing.
That's right.
It's springtime.
What do we have coming up from Avance? Besides they're still...
we've got an off-road day this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That, we talked about it last time. You guys are going to want to be there.
I think there's a couple of spaces available, I thought, for the afternoon, I thought.
Yeah, that's going to be the one to come out to, though, this weekend. So off-road event the 20th and driving experience event at Bremerton Motorsports Park.
Have they opened that up for tickets yet for Bremerton?
I don't know.
I didn't see if that had opened yet. The last time I looked at it, they hadn't opened it up yet. So.
Yeah, register here is now open.
Okay.
Let's see your Motorsports Reg. Yep, it's on there. Okay.
Okay.
So, you guys can do that. That's, The off-road event's going to be fun, though. We've got, like I said, we have a good surprise coming up. Carl's going to be there that day. We will be in and out. You may not see our tent that day because we have so much going on that day. But
and I don't know if they'll actually see the surprise because that's at the shift change. So we'll see.
Yeah, so if the volunteers will be there. But, yeah, it's some good times. Let's put it that way.
It's good times, good times.
It's funny, we haven't missed a COVID episode. I'm really proud of that we have not missed a week, and we've had good guests.
And neither one of us has gotten COVID either.
That's right.
So, yeah.
And then we have several guests coming up now. That's kind of opening back up a little bit.
Next week is going to be interesting because he's a professional voice actor.
Right. So that'll be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun. And then we're working on a couple other ones. Again, as everybody knows, it's hard to schedule during COVID. It's hard to get people in the area. Things are opening up more because literally next week's guest is coming because he's finally got both of his shots and his wife will let him come into the show. So it's a good thing. So yeah.
Yep. And we have a couple of long distance phone interviews coming up. Our friend Nick from Australia. We don't do phone interviews on this show. That's one of the things we try not to do because we don't get the same thing. But it's a little hard to get to Australia. So I've been talking to him a little bit about coming to the show and talk about off-roading in Western Australia.
And sometimes Nick on the show learns that Nick from Australia is going to be on the show. I didn't even know that, so that's
I haven't scheduled him yet. He just said he was going to.
No,
so
that's
I know
awesome.
he's been a great listener, and we've been thank you to our Australia listeners, by the way. We have more than a few actually. We have a great audience in Australia, and I am dying to get down there because I have a team in Australia, and so I really want to come visit you guys. We love Australia.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of. Please send us the emails. I know. And did you set up the newsletter yet? I know we got a couple of requests for the newsletter.
Yeah, with newsletters coming, I have just got to finish up the MailChimp stuff to get that kind of sorted away and really clean.
And if you've sent us an email and haven't gotten a response back, we apologize. Dan and I have been extremely busy. I was looking at our email list today, and Dan and I need to sit down and talk and figure out who's looked at what and kind of go from there. But we are going to get to all of that now. So.
Yeah, you'd think we have a bunch of free time during COVID. We do not.
You would think. No, it hasn't happened. So, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, if you see us on the road riding monkeys, don't run us over.
Yes,
smile, wave. We're glad to sit and talk to you for a little while. But,
Yeah.
So, for this episode of Rain City Supercars, I'm Nick.
I'm Dan, and don't just get there. Enjoy the drive.